Here is part 2 of your HFY Sci-Fi story, titled, A Simple Farmer Fed the Creature, but this dragon was no ordinary monster. This part is written in basic English, with engaging flow, third-person style, and is completely violated free, round, 950 words long. Part 2. The dragon that remembered Delia's didn't tell anyone about the creature in his barn for days. He lived a double-life farmer by morning, secret caretaker by night. To the townsfolk, he was still the quiet old man with dust on his boots and soil under his nails. But inside his barn, something powerful was healing. Asher. The creature's body slowly repaired itself. The cracks in its metallic scales closed. Its blue energy lines began to pulse stronger. Though its wings were still too weak for flight, it could now lift its head and move its tail. But the biggest change wasn't in the body, it was in the eyes. Asher watched Elias. Not like an animal, not like a beast, but like a thinking being. Curious, cautious, aware. One morning, as Elias was placing a bowl of meat near the dragon's mouth, Asher did something new. It spoke, not with its mouth, but inside Elias's mind, like a soft echo bouncing around his skull. Elias. Elias froze. He looked into Asher's glowing eye. Did you say my name? He whispered. Double quotes, yes. The voice was calm, deep, and strange, but not threatening. Elias sat on an overturned crate, staring at the dragon. How do you know my name? You said it many times, while speaking, while working. I remember. Elias scratched his head. So you've been listening this whole time? Yes, I listen. I watch. I learn. The room felt quiet, even with the wind howling outside. Asher continued, slowly. I was created, not born. I served in the Skyborn. Skyborn, Elias asked. A war fleet, built by the Eligiar, a species long dead. I was a weapon, until I refused. Elias blinked. You refused? Refused what? Asher lowered its head. For a moment, silence returned. Then, a memory poured into Elias's mind, not sharp, but soft, like a half-remembered dream. Flashes of fire, cities under the stars, ships falling, screams. And then a small child, a human girl, reaching out to touch the dragon's nose. A feeling of peace. Then everything turned dark. Elias gasped, pulling away. That was you? Asher nodded, the movement slow. I was ordered to destroy Earth. I disobeyed. I ran. My kind hunted me for it. So you're not just a weapon, Elias said softly. You're alive. You made a choice. Asher's voice echoed again. Yes, I chose not to kill. I chose life. Elias leaned forward, elbows on his knees. And then you came here. You crashed on my land. Why? Asher blinked. I was hit by a seeker, a tracking drone from my own fleet. I thought I was hidden, but they found me again. I had to escape. This planet was close. The pieces were coming together. Elias stood up and began to pace. If your old masters are hunting you, then they'll come here. Won't they? Possibly, or worse, others may come. Others. The Federation. If they discover me, they will not ask questions. They will fear me, and they will erase me. Elias remembered the stories of how the Galactic Federation banned all sentient war machines. After the Eligiar War, anything like Asher was considered too dangerous to live. He looked at the dragon. Then we have to keep you hidden, Asher tilted his head. You would protect me. Elias gave a small smile. You didn't kill me when you had the chance. You talked to me. That tells me enough. The dragon didn't reply, but something warm flickered in its eyes. Over the next few days, the bond between man and dragon grew stronger. Elias learned that Asher could share thoughts and images. When Elias was fixing wires on the creature's chest, Asher showed him how. Its systems worked, not through words but through feelings, shapes, and memories together. They made repairs. Elias used old farm tools, scrap metal, and parts from abandoned drones. It wasn't perfect, but Asher's body slowly became stronger. But danger was near. One afternoon, Elias was hauling fresh hay when he noticed a strange glint in the sky. A drone, small, black, and silent, too high to shoot. He cursed under his breath and ran back to the barn. We have a problem, he said. They're watching. Asher raised his head. They know. That night, Elias stayed up late. He dusted off his old comm scanner and listened in on Federation chatter. Static filled the channel until a coded voice came through. Unidentified anomaly detected in Sector 9. Energy spike consistent with restricted class weaponry. Investigation. Team en route. Elias turned off the scanner. They're coming. Asher looked at him. You should leave. Save yourself. Elias shook his head. Not happening. I do not wish for you to suffer because of me. Elias gave a tired smile. Too late for that. I already fed you, remember? That makes you family now. Asher blinked once. Strange logic. Welcome to being human, Elias replied. That night, the wind howled harder. The stars above looked colder than usual. Asher curled up in the barn, eyes glowing softly. Elias sat outside with a mug of hot tea, staring at the sky. He knew the peaceful life was over. He knew fire might fall from the stars again. But deep down, he didn't feel fear. He felt ready. Because somewhere between hay bales and repair wires, a simple farmer had become something else, a protector of a creature once built for war. And the dragon had remembered how to be more than a weapon. Here is part 3 of your story. A simple farmer fed the creature. But this dragon was no ordinary monster written in third-person style, using simple English. Filled with interesting events and completely violated free. Word count is approximately 950 words. Part 3. The return of the sky-born eels woke early. The suns had not yet risen, and the air smelled like rain. But something felt wrong. The birds were quiet. He stepped outside with his old scanner in hand. The screen flickered once, then showed a red dot blinking over his land. Low orbit ping, he muttered. They're here. Inside the barn, Asher was already awake. His wings twitched, stronger now. His eyes glowed steady. They found. U.S., Asher said, his voice calm but firm inside Elias's mind. Yeah, Elias replied. And I doubt they're bringing tea. By midday, the Federation ship appeared. It hovered high above the valley, silent like a hawk in the clouds. A silver drop pod detached and came down fast, crashing into the field near Elias's west fence. It hissed open. Out stepped 3 soldiers in black exosuits. Their faces were hidden behind shining visors. They walked with smooth, practiced steps, watching everything. Elias met them halfway. He wore his old leather coat and carried a basket of vegetables. His face was calm, mourning. He said. The lead soldier, a tall woman, nodded. You Elias Tren? Depends who's asking. Federation security, she said. We're scanning for illegal tech. Some kind of old war drone fell near here. Elias raised an eyebrow. War drone? I heard thunder, but I didn't see any wreck. Then you won't mind if we look around. Elias shrugged. You can look at the fields, but my barn's off limits. Got unstable chemicals in there. Farm work's dangerous business. The soldier looked past him, toward the barn. Her helmet scanned it quietly, behind Elias's back. Asher lay completely still in the hay, power dimmed. To almost nothing. The soldier didn't push it. We'll stay on the fields, for now. She turned and walked off. Her team followed. That night, Elias sat in the barn, staring at Asher. We have to move you, he said. They're not fooled. If they find you, they'll call in more. Asher's voice was weak. I cannot fly far. Not yet. There's an old cave system in the North Hills, Elias said. I used to hide tools there. Could fit you, maybe. Quiet, cold, safe. Asher nodded slowly. I'll take you tomorrow, before they return. But Elias wasn't the only one. Thinking ahead, his neighbor, old Mr. Donald, had seen the pod drop, and he'd seen Elias talking to soldiers. He'd always thought Elias was strange, always tinkering in that barn. That evening, Donald sent a message to the Federation, saying, check the barn. He's hiding something big. The Federation didn't ignore the tip. The next morning, Elias loaded supplies onto a hover cart. Asher crouched low, his wings folded tight. They moved quietly, early before light. But they didn't get far. The soldiers returned this time with more. 2 drones flew overhead, scanning the land with red beams. Elias and Asher were spotted. Halfway to the hills. Run, Elias shouted. Asher surged forward, now faster and stronger. The hovercart broke apart behind him as the dragon leapt into the trees, knocking over branches and stones. Blaster fire shot past Elias as he ran behind Asher. Dodging between rocks and stumps, a drone dove from the sky, locking onto Asher. Asher turned, opened his mouth, and released a low burst of heat, not fire, but a concentrated wave of plasma. It struck the drone and melted its wings. The machine dropped like a rock. Elias grinned as he jumped over a log. Still got some fight in you. Huh, a little, Asher said. They reached the caves just before the second drone could fire. Asher slipped inside first, pulling Elias. And with one claw before the entrance collapsed behind them, dust filled the air. Silence returned. Inside the cave, Asher panted. His body sparked from several places, and his wing dragged on the ground. Elias sat beside him, breathing hard. That was too close. Asher looked at him. You risked your life. Yeah, well, so did you? Asher tilted his head. You are not military, not trained. Why help me? Elias leaned back, wiping sweat from his forehead. You ever seen what war does to farmers, to kids? Asher was silent. I lost people. To your kind. Maybe not you, but things like you. Big, metal monsters made for killing. Then why save me? Because you didn't kill. You chose to run. That matters. Asher's tail curled lightly. Your people are strange. Elias gave a tired laugh. You'll get used to us. Hours passed. Asher recharged slowly from a backup cell Elias had wired to his chest. His eyes began to glow brighter again. Still weak, Elias said. We need to fix your power core. But I don't have the parts. Asher's eyes narrowed. There's a solution. What? An ancient relic. Buried nearby. It contains a fusion core. One strong enough to heal me fully. Where? Under the old ruins, east of the valley. Hidden deep beneath. Elias frowned. That place? The one with the ruins no one goes near? People say it's haunted. It is not haunted. It is guarded. Great, Elias muttered. More problems. If we reach it, I can restore myself, and I can protect this place. Elias looked into the dragon's eyes. He saw hope not just for Asher, but maybe for himself too. All right, he said. Then we go to the ruins. Asher nodded once. The farmer and the dragon had survived the first storm, but a greater one was coming. The Federation wouldn't stop, and beneath the earth, secrets waited old, buried, and powerful. Elias had once wanted only peace. Now, he was walking into the heart of danger with a creature from the stars, and he wasn't turning back. Here is part 4 of your story, written in simple English, third-person style. Engaging and violated free. Around 950 words. Part 4. The fire Benephelius and Asher rested inside the cave, hidden from the bright suns and prying eyes above. But the danger was far from over. The Federation would not stop searching, and Elias knew they had little time. We must find the relic, Asher said, his voice steady in Elias's mind. It holds the power to heal me fully. Elias nodded, rubbing his rough hands together. I know the place, he said quietly. The old ruins, east of the valley. People avoid it. Say it's cursed. Asher's eyes glowed faintly. Cursed or guarded, it will test us both. The next morning, they left the cave. Elias rode a small hover bike he had fixed long ago. Asher flew low behind. Wings still weak but powerful enough to keep him moving faster than Elias could on. Land. The journey was not easy. The ruins lay beyond thick forests and rocky hills. Birds flew away as the dragon passed overhead, and small creatures scurried in the shadows. Elias felt nervous, but he did not show it. He had come too far to turn back now. When they reached the edge of the ruins, Elias stopped and looked around. The place was covered in strange stones and broken metal. Old buildings, half buried in dirt, rose like ghosts from the earth. Looks like no one has been here in a long time, Elias said. Asher lowered his head and sniffed the air. The relic is below, deep inside the main chamber. Elias nodded. Let's find it. They moved carefully, stepping over cracked floors and broken walls. Inside the largest building, They found a heavy door carved with symbols Elias did not understand. Asher reached out a claw and touched it. The door slowly opened, revealing a dark passage leading down. Elias lit his plasma lamp. Well, here we go. The passage was narrow and cold. Strange machines lined the walls, silent but still humming with power. Elias felt a strange energy in the air, like the ruins were alive, after what felt like ours. They reached a large room. At its center lay a glowing object, a fusion core. Pulsing with blue light, Asher stepped forward, eyes fixed on the core. This is what I need. Elias moved closer, but suddenly the ground shook. The machines in the walls lit up, activating defenses. Sharp lasers and energy barriers blocked their path. Looks like they don't want us to take it, Elias said. Ducking behind a pillar, Asher growled softly. We must disable them. Elias looked around for a control panel. His fingers worked quickly, pressing buttons and pulling levers. Sparks flew as the machines fought back. After tense moments, the barriers flickered and died. Elias smiled. Got it. Asher moved to the fusion core and placed a claw on it. The blue light spread into his body, healing cracks and restoring power. His wings stretched out, stronger and shining. Elias watched in awe as the dragon rose to his full height. You're back, Asher nodded. Thanks to you. Suddenly, the door slammed shut. A voice echoed through the chamber. Unauthorized presence detected. You cannot leave with the relic. Elias and Asher turned. From the shadows emerged a large robotic guardian. Its eyes glowed red as it moved toward them. We have to fight, Elias said. Drawing a small energy pistol from his belt, Asher bared his teeth and prepared to strike. The battle was fierce. The robot swung massive arms, firing energy blasts. Asher dodged, breathing blasts of plasma to weaken it. Elias fired quick shots, aiming for weak spots. Finally, Asher landed a powerful blow. The robot's systems failed, and it collapsed with a heavy crash. Elias panted. That was close. Asher looked at him. You were brave. Elias smiled. I had a good teacher. With the relic secured and the guardian defeated, Elias and Asher prepared to leave the ruins. The journey back would be dangerous, but they were stronger now. As they stepped outside, Elias looked at the sky. The suns were setting, casting red light over the valley. We've come far, Elias said softly. Asher's eyes glowed warmly. And we have much more to do. The farmer and the dragon were ready to face whatever came next. Here is part 5 of your story, written in simple, engaging English, third-person style, and completely violated free. Round 950 words, part 5, Rise of the Forgivenelias and Asher return from the ruins. Their hearts heavy, but full of hope. Asher's wings were strong now, and his power had returned. But the danger was closer than ever. The Federation had learned more about the dragon. They sent troops, drones, and machines to search the valley. Their goal was clear: capture or destroy Asher. Elias knew he had to act fast. The farm was no longer a quiet place. Soldiers patrolled the fields, questioning neighbors and searching barns. Rumors spread through the town about strange lights and noises coming from Elias's land. One evening, as Elias repaired a broken fence, he saw a group of Federation soldiers approaching. They carried weapons and wore serious faces. Elias stood tall. What do you want? We have orders to search your property, the lead soldier said. We believe you are hiding illegal technology. Elias looked at the soldiers calmly. You won't find anything. The soldiers moved forward, but before they could enter the barn, a loud roar shook the air. Asher emerged, towering and fierce, his wings spread wide. His eyes burned bright with power. The soldiers froze, their weapons trembling. Asher did not attack. Instead, he let out a low growl, warning them to stay back. Elias stepped forward. Asher is not your enemy. The lead soldier lowered her weapon slightly. You don't understand what he is. He's a weapon from a forbidden war. Asher's voice echoed in Elias's mind. I am more than that. Elias nodded. He chose to protect, not destroy. He saved Earth once, and he saved me. The soldiers looked uncertain. Suddenly, drones appeared overhead, broadcasting live images of Asher and Elias to the Federation. Command. Elias knew this was his chance. He grabbed an old comm device and sent a message to the local news network, sharing the truth about Asher. He told of the dragon's past, the Federation's secrets, and the need for peace. The broadcast spread quickly. People across the colony watched the images of the dragon, not as a monster, but as a living being with a soul. The Federation command hesitated. The public demanded answers. Meanwhile, Asher stood guard over Elias's farm, his presence a warning and a promise. That night, Elias sat beside Asher, looking at the stars. "We've made enemies," Elias said softly. Asher nodded. "But also, friends," Elias smiled. "You saved more than just yourself." Asher's eyes shone with a gentle light. "And you saved me." The battle for the valley was only beginning. But for now, a farmer and a... Here is part 6 of your story, written in simple, engaging English, third-person style, and completely violated free. Around 950 words, part 6. The dragon's choice of valley was calm in the early morning light. Elias stood outside his farmhouse, watching the sun rise over the distant hills. The battle had left its marks, broken fences, scorched earth, but peace had returned. At least for now. Asher rested nearby, his powerful wings folded gently against his sides. His eyes shone softly, filled with quiet strength. Elias looked at the dragon and smiled. "We did it, Asher. We made it this far." Asher's voice echoed in Elias's mind. "Yes, but this is only the beginning." The Federation had backed down publicly after the broadcast. They said they would investigate the truth, and for now, they would not interfere. But Elias knew better. The shadow of their power still loomed. One afternoon, a message came from Asher. "There are others like me, more skyborn, waiting in silence. They remember." Elias frowned. "What do you mean?" "The Elysiar built many dragons. Most were lost or destroyed, but some remain hidden. They are waking." Elias felt a mix of fear and hope. If more skyborn lived, they could be a threat or an ally. Asher stood and stretched his wings. "I want to lead them, to change what we were made for." Elias nodded slowly. "And what about you? What will you do?" Asher looked toward the sky. "I will watch over this world, protect it. But I do not belong here, not fully." Elias smiled softly. "Then where will you go?" Asher's eyes glowed brighter. "To the stars, to find the others, to make a new future." Elias felt a pang in his chest but nodded. "You were never just a weapon. You're a guardian." That night, under the stars, Asher spread his mighty wings. Elias watched as the dragon rose slowly, powerful and free. Before he flew away, Asher turned his head toward the farmer. "Thank you, Elias, for saving me, for showing me the meaning of life." Elias waved. "Take care, old friend. Fly safe." Asher soared into the night sky, a shining beacon in the dark. Elias returned to his farm, feeling a new kind of peace. He was just a simple farmer, but he had changed the fate of a creature born for war, and together, they had changed the fate of the stars. If you want, I can help create an epilogue, or generate an image prompt based on the final scene.